Well, buckle up and get ready to get caffeinated. Today, we are hitting the pavement with Adam from Yelp KC to find some unique coffee shops around Kansas City. So we're out on another adventure today in Kansas City, this time joined with Adam from Yelp.com again, and we are investigating hard-hitting journalism as we try to find Kansas City's top coffee shops. Now, I know there's a lot of good coffee places around Kansas City, but we're going to hit up 3 of them today. Now, first off, before we get there, what in your mind, Adam, and in some of Yelp viewers or Yelp reviewers' minds makes for a good coffee shop here in Kansas City?
That's a good question, Bill. I think that the caffeine scene here in Kansas City has just really grown and spread out. So I think what's something that we're seeing get really nice ratings on Yelp is when a coffee shop is really unique. When they've got some kind of drinks that are unique, or maybe the setting is completely different than something you would see in another city. Those are the ones that tend to shine.
Now, I know you're a coffee connoisseur. What is the longest coffee drink name you've ever ordered? Because I don't know my coffee loca, froca, mocha stuff. So what is your drink of choice when you go to the coffee shops?
So I know it's a little bit boring, but I am just a black coffee connoisseur. I love it when it's pour over, cold brew, just straight up. But I actually had a cup of coffee yesterday that was from Guatemala, and it had notes of cashews and macadamia nuts and chocolate, and I was like, okay, but really to me it just kind of tastes like coffee, but it was still stellar.
So no frappa, mocha, locomotion, whatever?
Not for this guy.
All right, fair enough. So first off, we're going to come up to Split Log Coffee. Now this was my pick on the top picks here in Kansas City because I've been there before. I like it. It's down in a part of town that I like and I grew up in, downtown KCK, and it's right across. Now this is the best part about it, Adam, is if you get hungry right when you're done with your cup of coffee, right across the street is Slaps Barbecue.
That's kind of perfect right there.
So we just got our coffee from our first stop here at Split Log Coffee. You want to go ahead and try yours?
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, that's good.
That is perfectly made right there.
So you were talking about the uniqueness of the location really helps the Yelp rating that you've seen. So what are your initial thoughts of the location here and the uniqueness of Split Log Coffee?
I love this. I love this a lot. I think you get a unique view of the downtown, which is always cool in Kansas City. It's something that you know, we're probably all familiar with kind of the Union Station view, so it's nice to get a little bit of a change of pace here. And you know, being surrounded by all these other local businesses, there's murals around. It feels just kind of like that vibe you look for when you go get coffee. It's
not too far off the interstate, so even if you are across the river in Kansas City, Missouri, you just hop on 670. You're over here in 2 minutes for a nice little cup of coffee, and we're hanging outside on their nice little patio back here, which is great as well. It's a little warm today for an October day, but
yeah, that's right.
We're still enjoying our coffee. So where do we grab our next cup of joe? Well, here's a hint. We cross the state line and find ourselves by the historic Channel 5 Tower. What goes great with cheesecake? Well, coffee, right? Here's stop number 2 with Adam from Yelp KC and our Kansas City coffee tour. All right, so we visited Split Log, and now we are headed to our second stop. Adam, what is our second stop on our caffeine, what'd you call it, caffeine?
The caffeine scene.
What's our second stop on the caffeine scene here in Kansas City?
Yeah, so this one's a little bit newer to the caffeine scene. It's called Wild Way Camper, and it's actually a coffee shop that is based out of like an actual camper, something you would see, you know, out in the woods in California or something. So it's got a really cool vibe to it. All the ratings are coming in 5 stars for them, and kind of like we were talking about earlier, just hits that super local, super unique theme.
Adam, so this is our second stop. We are at the Wild Way. Now you said it was a camper. Now I kind of in my head thought we were going to walk in the camper. I didn't know it was going to be like food, like you said food truck, I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah,
like
we're just ordering from the side of the camper. I was expecting a little bit more than this just from the exterior, but this is awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think it takes the coziest coffee shop award for sure, by far.
So we're right off the corner of about 31st and Cherry. Now, does she move around a lot? Do you know with her coffee?
I believe this is her main location, so this is where, if you're looking for her, this is where you're going to find her most days.
We're right in the shadow of the old Channel 5 Tower, which is kind of cool. So we've got our coffee, and this is a really neat spot here.
It's a little bit like we were talking about with downtown KCK, and just kind of everywhere you pan, there's all these different new businesses popping up and cool bars and restaurants, and it's definitely a neat spot.
Yeah, little cool shops all over the place. So, well, this is our second stop. We're going to get more caffeinated, and we're going to head off to the third spot. There we go. Cheers. That's 2 down and 1 coffee shop to go. The last one, it looks like a coffee shop for a hobbit, but it's not your Tolkien coffee shop. You're not going to want to miss the last stop. All right, well, I set out to find some of the most unique coffee shops in Kansas City with the help of Yelp Kansas City's community manager. By now, we're on to our 3rd cup of coffee of the morning. Hang on, here we go. All right, we just hit up Wild Way, and now we are on to our 3rd stop on our Kansas City coffee tour. And what are we hitting up finally here as we wrap up the show?
So the last stop here, Hi Hat Coffee. Incredibly unique little space here. It's right on the state line, okay. Straddling both sides here, and it's got probably, I don't know, about 20 square feet inside. I mean, it's just tiny, like a little old house. It's kind of got that charm that you don't really see around most coffee shops. It's just a perfectly unique space.
If it was real estate, we'd call that cozy.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
We're on our final stop as we tour Kansas City's caffeine scene. We're in Westwood and we're at Hi Hat. This is a cool little place, just simply because of the architecture of this building, how small it is, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's got some history to it. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're telling us it's been around since 1932, which is pretty cool.
And it started out as a gas station.
Yeah, little Phillips 66 here on the corner of State Line, and over the years, obviously, they've transformed into something else, and it's kind of got that just cozy vibe, the big patio space, neighborhood feel, kind of perfect for a coffee shop.
And one time it was a barber shop as well, so it's a really cool, unique place for it, and their coffee is very good too. Now, you had mentioned that they use, what type of beans do they use here that you were talking about?
Yeah, they use coffee from Messenger Coffee, which is a local coffee place that we're starting to see everywhere. They have space down in the Crossroads and out in Lenexa, and then they also have their beans in a lot of different coffee shops and restaurants, and they're definitely one of the more premium brands here in KC, I think.
All right, well, we're on to our 3rd cup of coffee in only about 60 minutes, so we're doing pretty good right now. And
cheers.
Sorry, cheers. See, I'm just so excited for more caffeine. And after having that 3rd cup, I'm pretty sure I could see into the future. I went and bought lottery tickets. I didn't win anything, though. And if we missed your favorite shop, let me know. Find me at Bill KCTV5 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Let me know where Adam and I should check out next.